So this one better. We're doing Top Trumps cards game today. I know you can't hear me because there's nobody there, but I can hear me, and that's all that truly matters. I just kind of got 18 Top Trumps cards we haven't written on yet. I think that's including what's his name, Cromwell. Give me a sec. Okay. I have a pen right here. Can somebody put something in the chat so I know that you're there? Hi! Okay. Michelaj Konopaki has arrived, okay? Michelaj is here. So Michelaj, you're first. Which Top Trumps card are we making? Hi, Noob IMS. So Noob IMS, you normally don't have time to watch the streams. Okay? In fact, you were the one who requested that it be on 1 PM on Saturday. Therefore, because of that, I'm actually going to let you pick first, okay? Sorry, Michelaj Konopaki, but Noob IMS is going to pick first today. Noob IMS, which Top Trumps card do you want to make? Just waiting, quickly. Winston Churchill. We've done him already, I think. I think so. We've done him already. Here he is. We've done Winston Churchill already. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You normally don't. Okay. Hi, One Word Sheep. One Word Sheep's here. One Word Sheep's here. One Word Sheep very rarely gets to show up at the chat. Noob IMS. Anybody else? Anyone else want to suggest something? Oh, you have a fourth person joining. Himmler. Kareem El said I'll be back in 30 minutes. Don't worry, the stream we'll keep keeping going. We'll keep going the stream in 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Himmler. We'll do Himmler first and Lincoln. Himmler and Lincoln are the two people we're going to do today. Himmler, Lincoln. Now, however, Heinrich Himmler. Like a lot of people, I don't know much about Heinrich Himmler. So can everybody watching just confirm that they know a decent? You have skid marks. Wow, that's amazing. Can everybody watching confirm that they know a lot about Heinrich Himmler or know enough about Heinrich Himmler to make a Top Trump card about him? Because I don't know much about Heinrich Himmler, so I'm going to be completely reliant on you guys. Okay. So does anybody know anything about Heinrich Himmler before I write his name down on the card? New by him, yes. Okay. So Michelaj Konopaki. And Noob IMS knows a decent amount about Himmler. Okay, in which case I'm going to write his name down. Just gonna learn how to spell that. Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. Okay, you know how YouTubers say stuff like unalived rather than die, and like Austrian painter rather than Hitler. Right? Well, I'm so used to seeing that, okay, that when I first read the word Himmler in a play that was published decades ago, I thought Himmler was just a deliberate misspelling of Hitler, so that, to avoid demonetization. Anyway, turns out Himmler was just a member of the German government. So, what was Heinrich Himmler's influence on history? Tell us. Yeah, I know, it's quite embarrassing now, thinking about it. So, what was Heinrich Himmler's influence on history? Can you please tell me? Anyone got any suggestions of how do I? He indirectly led to the creation of Israel. He shortened World War II. Cass Fan Lover. Hi, can you give me a shout out? Probably not. I'll check out your channel after the stream. And I'll see if I can shout you out, okay? So, can you tell me, like how did he lead to the creation of Israel? How did he shorten World War II? Can you please tell me? how he created Israel or shortened World War II. He invented camaraderie pilots. Okay. Alright, so Nubian, yes, Mikolaj Konopaki, tell me about him. How did he shorten World War II? How did he indirectly lead to the creation of Israel? Oh, he was used as a reason for the Jewish homeland. Ah, okay, that's interesting. 9, and... okay, and how did he shorten the war? Can you please tell me? Hi, Max Ward. So, how did he shorten the war? Can you please tell me? Anybody? Does anyone know how he shortened the war? Mikolaj? Oh, he was a terrible commander on the Eastern Front and commander on the Western Front for a bit. Okay, so is everybody okay if I give Heinrich Himmler a 9? Am I going into history teaching? I'm probably not going to be a history teacher. Max Ward, you liked and subbed? Well done, thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to be a history teacher. Probably a YouTuber, actually. Give him a bit lower than that. Okay. Alright, go. Okay. Yeah. Because I suppose Hitler was going to lose the war either way. Like, he shortened the war, okay. But, like, okay. Heinrich Himmler probably shortened the war, yes. But Hitler was going to lose either way, okay. Once Hitler, you know, failed to take Moscow, he was always going to lose the war. Okay? Like, he's... And once again, there were so many Zionists, alright? Well, Israel might have been created anyway. So, would Israel have been created without him? Thank you, the mod, for that. So, would Israel have been created without him? No? Because I feel like a 9 is quite generous. We give people, like... So, you see, Israel would have been created without him, exactly, okay? That's why a 9 is quite generous. Hitler and Napoleon get given 10s. So I think Himmler, you know, is quite generous to give him a 9. But you don't know if it would have survived. So basically, we're making Max Ward, we're making top trumps cards about different people in history, okay? So these guys requested Heinrich Himmler. Seat 6, I think is a bit more reasonable. Heinrich Himmler. So now we're trying to work out, we're going to give Heinrich Himmler a mark for influence on history. Right there. Okay? You think he should be below 5? Alright. And Israel, on the other hand, Israel has had quite a decent influence on history, okay? And it probably will continue to. So, thanks, Timia. We'll do Rommel, we might do Rommel later, guys. Okay, so. I am going to give Heinrich Himmler a 7. No, a 6. Everybody okay with a 6? Everybody? Because he shortened the war on the Eastern Front, okay? And I think he deserves a 6 because, you know, that probably changed the Cold War. Like, the Cold War was influenced by the East-West divide. He's a side character, actually. See, the Cold War was influenced by the East-West divide, and so if he commanded on the Eastern and the Western Front, that means he probably changed the amount of territory that East and West Berlin had. So we gave him a 6 for influence on history, which in my opinion is still quite high, but you guys seem to, you know, want to rank him highly. So the next one we're going to do is strategy. How good was his strategical skills? Right there, alright? What strategies did he have? What? I just realised somebody's username is I am a road cone. I'm a road cone. That's a really good username. His strategies were terrible. Probably not good based on what's been said. 3 or 4 he's bad at commanding. Can we give, like, any examples as to how he screwed up? Like, did he leave key points undefended or something? Or fall into Soviet traps? Huh? Am I going to watch the new Minecraft movie next year? No. I don't watch a lot of films. This one doesn't look good. I think Steve looks hysterical. Like, I think they should have made Steve look like that just for the memes, okay? He didn't even command directly. He didn't even directly command. Well, that probably means he's good at. That means he's strategy, because a direct command, in my opinion, means tactics. Overall command is strategy. Strategy. So strategy. He was staying in hospital for flu. So what are we going to give him for strategy? 3.5 for strategy? 3? Anyone, like, final answer, everybody? What's the strategy? Okay, 3, 3, alright, this guy gets a 3. Alright, we've given him a 6 and 3. 3.432. 2 max. Alright. Moving on, what were his tactics like? Now we're going on to... No, we just did strategy, we're going on to specifically tactics now, okay? Were they better or worse than his strategy? Alright, 2 again? Should I just give him a 2 for tactics? He doesn't sound very good. What should I give him for tactics? Okay. 2, 2, okay, yeah, 2 sounds good. Hey, question, what was Himmler's actual job in the German government? Like, what did he do? Like, what was his job description? Like, was he the propaganda minister or something, or was Goebbels the propaganda minister? Don't know, okay. How good were his propaganda skills then? See, we got propaganda right there. He was leader of the SS. Okay. So does that mean he carried out the well, not the Great Purge, what's it called? The Night of the Long Knives, that's it. So how good was Himmler's propaganda skills? How good was his propaganda skills? How good was his propaganda skills? Like a 6 or a 7? Okay, I mean, he sounds okay. I mean, I'll give him a 6.5 unless anybody... Okay, speech is okay. 6.5 unless anybody else has any good ideas. Oh, head of police. Oh, that's interesting. Head of police, head of SS. Anyone else got any suggestions for propaganda, or should we just give him a 6? Six? Alright, I'm gonna give him a 6. Yeah, let's give him a 6. And political skill. How good with his political skills, okay? I cannot imagine a human being, okay, who managed to stay in power for the entire time of the Third Reich, be such a terrible commander, and yet still managed to keep his command despite constant blunders. Like, from what you've told me, it sounds like he was, consistently screwing up again and again and again and managed to keep his command. That's quite impressive. Oh, he was very good, was he? What are we doing? 8, 9? What was he for that? Eight? Okay, 8. Anyone else got any suggestions? 8, okay. So, I mean, we know that Michelad and New by MES are our experts. They know everything about Himmler, or they're the only people who know anything about Himmler, so we should trust him. He screwed up at the end trying to negotiate with the Red Cross. What, he was negotiating with the Red Cross? Like what, like negotiating a prisoner transfer, or bodies or something, or casualties, like something like that? Yeah, casualties or something. Right, now, earlier, I'm scrolling back to the top of the chat here. I just want to see what else has been suggested. Okay, Lincoln's been suggested and Rommel has been suggested. So we're going to do Lincoln, then Rommel. Bargaining with Jewish prisoners, okay? By the way, what happened to Himmler after the war? Did he live, or did they shoot him? Oh, he tried to switch sides when the Nazis were losing. Alright. So, wait, so what did happen to Himmler? Like, did he die? Did they shoot him? Oh, you think he killed himself? I think Goebbels shot himself. It was Goebbels or Goering that shot himself, and then the other one was tried. Caught and arrested in 1945. Executed behind the Holocaust. So either way he died, it was just a matter of who killed him. Died in captivity? Okay. So we got Lincoln now. Now, Lincoln, the thing is, I actually know a bit about Lincoln, so I'm not going to be completely reliant on you guys for this. I'm just going to see. Okay, so influence on history. Now, fun fact, 2 historians once read a book ranking like the top 100 most influential characters in history, and their top 5 were, are you ready for this? 5, Abraham Lincoln. Number 4, William Shakespeare. Oh, God. And I can't remember the order. I remember number 5 was Lincoln. Then the top 4 were, I can't remember the order, William Shakespeare, Muhammad, it was the Prophet Muhammad, William Shakespeare, Jesus Christ, and Napoleon, okay? Which is crazy, because, like, if you asked me to tell you the most influential person in history, you know, I would definitely tell you that Napoleon was probably quite high on my list. So these 5 historians agree with me. The answer is Napoleon, Shakespeare, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, and who else is it? Oh God, and Lincoln. Okay. Now I wonder how William Shakespeare ended up top 5 most influential people in history. But regardless, okay, what are we giving Lincoln for influence on history? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about Lincoln, because here's the thing. But because of Lincoln, okay, because of Lincoln, the USA was a lot more divided. Like, before Lincoln's tenure, the USA was the USA was quite reliant on slavery in the South and quite divided. But then afterwards, his tenure, he'd made the country a lot more united, and it wasn't as relying on slavery anymore, allowing its economy to gain a lot more strength. Oh, Shakespeare had a lot of influence on English literature and language. I mean, sure. I mean, but... Sure, but how much of an influence does that have? I suppose it does affect us a lot. But anyway, new by M, yes. 8, he didn't have much of an influence. He didn't have that much of an impact outside the US. Well, that's a bit of an oxymoron, because the US is today... Shouldn't William the Conqueror be higher than Shakespeare? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I think William the Conqueror should be higher than Shakespeare. Oh, hi, Fizzy Juice. We're doing Lincoln right now, okay? So, New by MES has just made the point that he didn't have much of an influence outside the US. But that's the thing. The US is the most powerful country in the world, and it's been the most powerful country in the world for quite a while. So, whoever influences the US influences the world and therefore history, okay? That's why everybody is following the US election closely and so desperate for the candidate they like to win. Okay? So, exactly, so many leaders more influential than Shakespeare, and yet the only people they put higher than Shakespeare were Muhammad, Jesus, and Napoleon. Yes, the US wasn't as powerful in the 1860s, but, okay, put it this way. I think the fact that Lincoln turned this... But the destruction of slavery in the South, or the much, much less slavery in the South, it might have made the US a little bit stronger, and that then allowed it to fight in World War... or made it a lot stronger to fight in World War I, later World War II. Like, maybe... They made so much money trading with the Allies in World War II. Exactly. Genghis Khan higher than Shakespeare. Those historians. So I think the US has won World War I and it won World War II. Yeah, it would have won World War. It would have won World War I. So did Lincoln do much? Okay, because Lincoln, actually, no. I just realized something, guys. Lincoln caused the US Civil War. Like, I know the start of the US Civil War started because the South wanted to be able to, have slaves. Okay, but the reason the South declared independence was because they were afraid that Abraham Lincoln was going to take their slaves away. And so the US Civil War happened. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, North won. Now, here's the thing. The US Civil War... Yeah, he didn't make people outside the US rethink slavery more. The point I'm making, okay, is that the US Civil War was always going to happen, okay? Slavery was the hottest issue in the country. I can't imagine a timeline where the US didn't end up having a civil war over slavery, okay? It's just a case of when. Maybe, so Abraham Lincoln made sure that the Civil War happened in the 1860s, but if Abraham Lincoln maybe hadn't been alive, maybe the Civil War would have happened a few decades later, and the US Civil War would have happened right before World War One, leaving the USA a lot weaker for World War One. And so of course, the USA would have, and of course, the USA would have still won World War One. But my point is, the US Civil War probably set the USA back economically a decade or two, like all wars do. And that means that, and had that happened a couple decades later, that might have had some serious influence on history. He was the birth of modern republicanism, at least a 7. I mean, was he? Because, I mean, is the Republican Party actually that is the modern Republican Party actually that similar to the Lincoln? Kind of stretch a lot inferring, okay, I agree that Lincoln probably didn't have that much of an influence on history, however. I think that even giving him a 5 would be really generous to Abraham Lincoln. He should be an 8. Why should he be an 8, Michelaj? I'd like to hear it. I think the mean average. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, okay? The Democrats also want Republicans, but like want a republic, and America is a republic and probably will be for the rest of its existence, or hopefully will be. I mean, he created it like that, did he? I mean, he didn't do much governing outside of wartime, though. He just got shot the second the Civil War ended. The most powerful, and he created it like that. Okay. He should be a 5. Well, let me just take the mean average of everybody's suggestions, okay? So far, the average of absolutely everyone's suggestions is a 5, an 8, and a 7. Therefore, the average of that is going to be... Well, he's not the sole reason for the USA's in power. Like, the USA has quite a lot of geographical advantages that allows it to be in power. For example, okay, the country directly north of it and the country directly south of it are friends with it, okay? And have been for quite a while. And that's why it's very difficult to invade the USA, because, well, you have to cross a massive ocean to get to it. So okay, is everybody okay if I give him a 6.6? Is that a good compromise? 6? Okay. Because we took a long time to make that decision. Alright. Okay. 6.6 we're in there. Now, what are we doing next? How good was his military strategy? So let me briefly summarize his strategy to win the Civil War. Okay? Now, his plan was to, obviously... Now, at the start of a war, the plan is to, obviously, get the war over as fast as possible, so you don't have to waste too many resources, okay? So what they did, they wanted to send the US Army in a massive attack to see if they could just sweep the Confederate Army off the board and take their capital in one fell swoop. And obviously they didn't work. They were defeated at a battle which his name I can't remember. So that's it. So then his new strategy was to blockade the entire Confederacy, okay? Every single port was blockaded. And that blockade was kept up for the entire war. And his strategy was to, appoint good generals. So I think Abraham Lincoln had some okay strategy. Okay. It was nothing special, okay? Lincoln wasn't revolutionizing strategy. Lincoln wasn't revolutionizing strategy. But I would say he wasn't bad at it. Like, he didn't make any bad decisions. He isn't even that good at appointing generals. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Abraham Lincoln, for those of you that don't know, okay, he would appoint a new general, like, every 2 weeks. Hi, pro-murder versus sheriff player. Yeah, let me explain what Lincoln did. Every 2 weeks, okay? Every 2 weeks, he would hire a new general, send them to take the Confederate capital city. The general would lose, he would hire a new one, and it would go on and on and on for like 5 years. Okay? And the Confederacy always had this genius called General Lee, who would just stop them every single time. So, I would say their strategy was, once again, I would say... Ooh, average, I would say. I'm going to give Lincoln once again a 6. I'm going to give Lincoln a 5. A 4. Why do you think 4? Because I want to give him an average. I think Lincoln was perfectly mid, okay? When it came to strategy, at least. Because, once again, I can't think of any major strategical blunders Lincoln made. He did win, ultimately. But, it just took him a while. Like, he was going up against General Lee, one of the best generals ever. Exactly, but he didn't do anything special. So he didn't do anything bad, but not special. Therefore, in my opinion, that means he's perfect average, and therefore 5 out of 10 is an average. Therefore, I think average. Okay? He kind of just brute forced it. Well, he of course had the numerical advantage. Like, the North was always going to win, it just took a little longer than everybody. But no. Like, okay, put it this way. He ordered, what's his name? General Grant. Yeah. General Grant launched his invasion of the West and the USA. And they, took the Mississippi River. Let me go in. They took the Mississippi River here, split the Confederacy in 2. He was throwing... Alright, but did he have another option? Alright, fine. Actually, these guys have convinced me that Lincoln didn't have much of a strategy. It was mainly his so, should we go 4? Like, because maybe he didn't have much of a strategy, he just, like, brute forced it. Oh! You know? I mean, so no one's going to be offended if I give him a 4? But I still think he's okay. So I'm giving him a 4.5. As a compromise with you, me, and everybody else. Good leader, maybe not good strategist. Exactly. Lincoln's propaganda skills were okay. Tactics. Alright? How good were Lincoln's battle tactics? Now the thing, I don't think we can rank Lincoln for battle tactics. Lincoln never commanded or fought an actual battle. He just ordered people to fight battles. Therefore, I think we're going to have to put not applicable for Lincoln. Lincoln's battles. 2. No, I want to put not applicable. He should be a 1. But like, what? Yeah, he's exactly. That's what I'm saying, one with Shep. He wasn't. So I'm going to go not applicable. Give me a second, just got to check something. Alright, propaganda. How good were his propaganda skills? Because that's the thing. There were multiple times in the, like, he wasn't able to keep the North at a high morale. The North morale was, like, never that good. Okay, there were protests. There were, like, there were people who called for his impeachment. He almost lost the election to General McClellan. The only reason he won the election was because one of his generals got a lucky victory. Oh, Gettysburg Address. So tell me about the Gettysburg Address, because I know the Gettysburg Address. He gave a speech immediately after the Civil War, after the Battle of Gettysburg. So yeah, like, what was so good about it? Because it's an infamous speech that went down in history. Like, it's so famous. But I still don't want to give him a 7. I feel like 6 for that. Oh, actually, yeah, that's right. Because he had this whole fiasco, okay? We wanted to outlaw slavery in the Union, okay? However, if he did that, it would just look like he was begging for help. It was, one last breath for air before we drowned, okay? But once he'd won a battle, they used to say, we're winning, and now we're going to end slavery, okay? So I think that was quite a good. I mean, yeah, no, actually, I agree. Lincoln probably deserves highly for a strategy. 7. I gave him a 7. I gave him a 7 for strategy. What about political skill? How good was Lincoln politically, okay? So put it this way. He was good enough to get in charge of the USA. That takes some skill. And he was good enough to get the South to reconquer the South. I mean, but election against the general, 5 or 6. Maybe consider him the great president. Well, many consider him the great president, yes. Yeah, the two most, like, famous presidents in, like, the history of America, like, are obviously, apart from Trump and Biden, obviously, because they're the modern ones, Lincoln and Washington, and then maybe JFK is third place. 8, okay. 8 for political skill? But did he have that hard of a job to manage, okay? Because there were some people who had to manage like 100 different city-states and just somehow managed to keep them all united. Lincoln didn't have as hard of a job. The North was relatively divided, even if the South wasn't. 7, exactly, that's what I was going to put, a 7. Okay, so I put a 7. Now, Kareem that's finished. So, the official statistics for Lincoln are 6.6 for influence on history, 4.5 for influence on history, not applicable for tactics, 7 for propaganda, and 7 for political skill. Now, we're actually half an hour into this, and Kareem said she'd be coming back in 30 minutes, so she should be, like, coming back now, but the next person who got suggested was Rommel. So we're gonna do Rommel now. Rommel! Okay. Now, Rommel's influence on history, not much, okay? Let me give you a brief biography of Rommel, okay? So basically, Italy, invaded... I'll go. Give me a second. I'm gonna... This is a very cool idea. Yeah, history fans like discussing how good people were in history, so I knew people would like this. Okay, I'm gonna give you a biography of Rommel, okay? In World War II, Italy controlled Libya, alright? Italy, Libya. So, Italy decided to invade Egypt, controlled by the British, but the British stopped them and won, taking a lot of land in Libya. So Germany sent some tank divisions and Rommel to defeat the British, okay? They pushed them out of Libya, invade Cairo, invade Egypt, and they then lose and were forced to retreat. They retreat again, but luckily they win. Not luckily, but then they win, and they almost win, but they come to the end of their supply lines, okay? So they come to the end of their supply lines, and the British force them back, and they get pushed back all the way across Libya, push it back to Tunisia, and at this point, the Americans and the British are invading North Africa on the other side in Morocco. In Morocco here. So that meant that Rommel was getting attacked by two sides. Rommel was probably one of the best commanders that Germany had, okay? But his situation was impossible, okay? By the time his term came, by the time at the end of the North Africa campaign, he was surrounded on two sides. Does anybody know Napoleon in his final 6 days campaign? Yeah, that was him. He was impossible. Exactly, no logistics. So he realized that there was no way he was going to be able to hold North Africa. So he went to Hitler and said, Hitler, staying in North Africa now is, quote, plain suicide. Hitler said, don't care, we're going to stay in North Africa. So Hitler stayed in North Africa, and they lost, and they all got captured. The Desert Fox, he was known as. Yeah, he was known as the Desert Fox, wasn't he? Fun fact, one of Rommel's great tactics, okay? I'm not sure if he did this or the Germans did this, but it's quite interesting. Rommel, what was I going to say? They had an anti-tank gun that could also shoot down aircraft, but they only named it an anti-air gun and not an anti-tank gun. And that made the British thought, well, they didn't have any anti-tank guns, only anti-air guns, so our tanks are safe. Turns out their tanks weren't safe and all the tanks got blown to bits. So that was quite a good deceptive strategy. So Rommel, what was Rommel's influence on history? I mean, not much. he probably delayed Germany's loss of North Africa, but didn't prevent it or cause it in any way. 2, I mean, 2's generous. We gave Mussolini a 2, and I feel like, oh, what did we give Mussolini? I'm gonna go through the old cards. I just want to see what we gave Mussolini. Give me a second. Mussolini was one of the first few we did. Give me a second. Oh, Mussolini, found him. Yeah, we gave Mussolini a 2 for influence on history. I would say, under that logic, I'd say Himmler has to... not Himmler. I would say that Rommel has to get less than Mussolini. So I think we should give Rommel, like, a 1, I would say. Because he did have some... I mean, he was behind... Oh, he was behind the Holocaust. I mean, yeah, he defended D-Day, but Rommel said... There was an argument in German high command between Rommel and the other generals. Rommel said, the second the Allies land, our only chance of defeating this invasion is if we can push them back immediately, okay? But the other generals wanted to let them create a beachhead and then push them back. Hello, Sandnukes. Oh, Sandnukes. I don't think we've seen Sandnukes in a while. Hi, Sandnukes. Welcome back. So yeah, anyway, Rommel lost the argument and Hitler divided the troops between put some troops in Paris to defend Paris. Okay? Rommel was like, no, those troops have to be on the coast to stop the invasion. But Rommel lost the argument, and so the D-Day invasion succeeded and Germany lost the war. So I would say Rommel could have had a lot of influence on history had he been in charge of the defense of France and stopped the invasions, but he just wasn't given the chance. Especially because I should say, Rommel did command... let me just read that. Yeah, well, Rundstedt wanted to keep them in Paris, and keeping them in Paris was a mistake, okay? Fun fact, I think Rommel was in charge. What cards have we made the stream? So far, we've made... Oh, give me a second. Who have we made this stream? I can't remember. I can't even remember now. Can somebody else tell him? Because I can't remember. Who did we just do? I'm looking through the cards. Oh, we did Heinrich Himmler? Yeah, we did Heinrich Himmler and Lincoln. So, anyway. Rommel was in charge of setting up the beach defences in Normandy. So, what should we give him for influence on history? I'm going to give Rommel a 1 for influence on history. Okay, I gave him a 1. Now, how good was his strategy? Now, his strategy, okay, his strategy was okay. It was very difficult because he didn't have many good supply lines. But his strategy was, when he realised he was he was getting under attack by the British and Americans on one side and the British and the Australians on the other side, he attacked the British and Americans, boof, defeated them, or at least defeated some of them anyway, wheeled round and went to attack the other ones, but he didn't make it in time and he lost the battle. Meaning that, and that's what caused him to realise, oh, okay, we have no chance of holding out North Africa, we have to leave. Okay? So I think that's an okay strategy. That was probably inspired by Napoleon. Now, Rommel was actually quite outnumbered by the British in North Africa, but he defeated them in detail. He was quite good at defeating the British in detail. Rommel once even said, what's the point of having all these tanks if I can just defeat them in detail? It was something along those lines. So what should we say his strategy was? How good was Rommel's strategy? How good was Rommel's strategy? Anybody? Okay, 6, 7, 7, okay. I gave him a 6. 5? Seven. 7 seems to be the most common suggestion, and that's what I think too. So sadly, we're going with 7, okay? Sorry, Michelaj. Oh, why Michelaj, by the way? Michelaj, I'll give you a chance to state your case. Nikolaj, why do you think he deserves a 5, by the way? Just curious. Well, he didn't do anything special. Well, okay, he didn't invent any new strategies, but he did use some really good ones that allowed him to defeat armies that were way larger than his own. For example, like he was great at tactics. Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, I just realised. Yes. You're right, Mikolaj. We have to give him a 5 for strategy. And then we gave him a 7 for tactics. Good point. We gave him a 5 for strategy and 7 for tactics. Thanks, Mikolaj, for saying that. I agree now. Okay. Moving on, propaganda. How good was propaganda skills? How good were his propaganda skills? Anybody? Sorry, I keep picking my nose a lot, it's itchy. So how good was propaganda skills? He was kinda a media celebrity. He was good at helping Goebbels. I presume you're saying Goebbels and not Goebbels. He was kind of influenced the commander on both sides, but by no fault of his own. Yeah, I mean, he was good. He probably didn't do any propaganda. We might have to write not applicable for him. I mean, Goebbels made him a celebrity. So, do you think we should write not applicable for propaganda for him? Not applicable for his propaganda skills? You think 5? 5, but like, he scared the British short. But what did he do? What propaganda did he do? I can't think of any propaganda that he actually did. Well, due to his fame. Right, but he didn't make that fame himself. Okay? He just had a reputation. Sandy, why should I put 0 instead of NA? Did he try propaganda and then do a bad job? Did he try propaganda and do a bad job? Yeah, no, not applicable for that. Okay, fine. I'm putting... NA, well, NA is what we write when he didn't do anything, so we can't really write him. Like Gandhi, well, no, 0 would imply that he's really, really bad. NA implies that he's never tried, okay? Gandhi, for example, we did Gandhi. We put him not applicable for tactics and strategy because while we don't know because we just don't know how good he was for tactics and strategy, he just never did any of it. Yeah, 0 would be like if he was terrible at propaganda, like he was going, oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen, or something. Oh right, so not applicable. Yeah. So I wonder if we should write not applicable for propaganda. We did Gandhi. So is everybody okay if I write not applicable for Rommel's propaganda? No one opposing him. All right. And actually, not applicable. Did he even do any political skill either? Like, I'm not sure Rommel's did much politics. Like, I mean, politically he was probably a Nazi, but... Well, skill in, so here's a reply to I am road cone. Their involvement in it or skill in using it. Okay, skill in using it. Like, how skilled was he? The same way for tactics, okay, we ranked him based on how skilled he was at tactics. Alright? So, political skill. How good was his political skill? Once again, we might have to write not applicable for that as well. Guys? Anybody? Anybody? Hi? Not applicable? Yeah, okay, not applicable. Unless anybody has any opposition to that, I'm going to write down not applicable for him as well. Not applicable. All right, not applicable. And so let's say you're playing top trumps, okay? So let's play you're saying top. And by the way, oh, he was killed for being a traitor, or at least they thought he was a traitor. Is that political skill? Because they showed up to his house saying you've been found guilty of being a traitor. You can take either suicide or a trial, and he chose to suicide himself. He wasn't a traitor, exactly. But like, could he have done much about that? I'm not sure if he could have done much about that. Could he? Okay, I think Hitler just decides to kill people and then kills people. How did he kind of spread his legend on the Allies? Oh, he didn't convince Hitler with the tanks, okay? Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things Hitler did, he didn't create any form of a clear command structure. So what Hitler did, right, was... Oh, how was he going to say? What Hitler did was he would make people all equal. That way, they would all be only answerable to him. So, political skills was bad. Didn't seem very good at convincing Hitler. Okay, fine. Instead of not applicable for him, how about we just write a low number? Okay? What number do you guys want me to write? 2 at much? 2 at most? 1. Let's go with 1. And by the way, guys, I just want to show you how not applicable works, okay? Let's say you're playing top trumps against somebody who plays Romulus card and you say propaganda. They have to say not applicable. And what not applicable means isn't that it's just you can't play that, okay? Like, let's say I gave him a 0 for propaganda. That means he loses. But let's say I write not applicable. That means you just can't play it. 2 for sand nukes. Yeah, I gave him a 1. So, who are we doing next? Because, anybody? Who are we doing next? That's one. Hi? Anyone else there? Okay. Who are we doing next? Thatcher. Now, Thatcher was now by Thatcher and Julius Caesar. We'll do them two next. Now, the thing I have to say about Thatcher... Have we done George W. Bush? Once again, I don't really like doing modern people, because modern people, we don't know what their influence on history is. Like, take Lincoln, for example. We know what his influence in history was. We know what happened for the next 60 years after he died. But for George W. Bush, we don't know what the long-term implications. Let's do Thatcher next. Now, I should say for Thatcher, okay, we're also probably going to have to write not applicable. Like, strategy, maybe she had some decent strategy, but not applicable, or propaganda. But, like, not applicable, not applicable for tactics, definitely. Alright, let's get right into it. Lady Dasher, greetings from Israel. Am I American or English? I am English. She was there for the Falklands, and they won that. Okay. You know, I feel like changing positions. I want to sit on the floor now. Okay. Alright. So. Alright, yeah, greetings from Israel. Okay. Okay, so Falcons, okay? Yes, we've made Genghis Khan. She sent the task force down to deal with the Argies, okay? But is that a lot of influence on history? Okay? Like, I feel, okay? Like, so what? Britain controls the Falkland Islands. Did that give her is that any influence on this whatsoever? It probably boosted British morale a bit, but I really don't think that retaking the Falkland Islands... Like, put it this way. Before her tenure, the British control the Falkland Islands. After her tenure, the British control the Falkland Islands, okay? Like, I feel like that didn't have almost any influence on history. Yeah, the British fought in the Falklands. Oh, for strategy? Yeah. Well, we're starting with influence on history. Yeah, the British did fight in the Falklands. In 1983, Argentina went and invaded the Falkland Islands and took them from the British. Britain sent a task force down and retook the islands. Just look for my pen. I've dropped it. Found it. Give me a second. Why? Well, why did the Argentinians invade the Falkland Islands, or why did Britain take them back? Oh, give me a second, damn it. Yeah, really? Okay. It is now. Falcon is a British salary. Her policies boosted the economy short term, but on long term it hurt quite a bit. Cutting the housing budget without repealing finding County Act. Okay. Is Falklands a British territory? So, by the way, guys, I've just received a text from a couple of people, like my mum. It's quite important, okay? So I'll probably have to cut the stream off now. I'm going to come back in like 5 minutes, okay? Just wait there, alright? Alright, bye.